All right, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the Planet Gen X podcast. I'm your host, Sean, and this is my excellent, god damn it, that pointing thing, co-host, Brian. I'm never going to get that right. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. How are you?
I am excellent, my friend. So happy to see you again. We're having a bit of a technical difficulty on Brian's end, so the mic volume is a bit low. We know it. It is what it is. We have to press on, as they say. So no worries. I think you'll all be able to hear him well enough.
Grab the baling wire.
Yep. Grab the duct tape, baling wire, and spit.
Yep.
Let's get it on. Yes, sir. Well, alrighty then. First things first. Before I forget, I want you guys to please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave us a comment, please, and be happy that I remember to do it at the beginning of the show. For once,
right.
It's amazing.
Oh, keep doing it.
Yeah. I hope I set a trend just now. Right. How you been, man? You doing all right?
I'm not gonna lie, man. It's been a rough week. Variety of things. A lot of my rough weeks as of recent have been due to introspection and things of that sort. But other things do play a part. Like I've been laying inside this week. That's doesn't make my back feel great, right?
Yeah, that's brutal laying inside.
Like yeah.
I did it one time and I hated it.
It sucks.
Yeah, it was brutal.
How about you?
It's been a fine week, but man, I just looked up today and I was like, holy shit, I got to do a podcast today. It's Friday. Okay. So a little bit of scrambling going on. Well, neither of us have had a chance to watch the new Star Trek episode. So we're going to be behind on that. So looking forward to probably recording that. No probably about it. We'll be recording that on Monday like we did the last one. So that will come out that night. And, yeah, and speaking of Star Trek, it's interesting. I was just reading through a few things because I didn't really have much show notes, and just reading a few things, and I noticed that one of these Star Treks, and maybe the one we're going to watch, I don't know, is going to be a musical episode.
I saw that in your notes, and you and I have talked about this many times. There's a large amount of musicals out there that I don't really care much for.
Yeah.
Right? Kind of feel the same way.
I like many musicals, classic musicals that like Family Opera, Les Mis. I don't mind Wizard of Oz. I don't mind some singing. It just depends on what it is.
Right.
This, I don't know, man. I don't really want this in my Star Trek. It doesn't. I mean, that's for High School Musical type stuff. And I don't really want it here. And my wife's gonna take a humongous shit on it.
Oh yeah.
And like the king of all elephant shit, she's gonna take on it because she doesn't like musicals at all. So we very rarely see anything. Like we were talking about the other day with the Little Shop of Horrors.
Right. Yeah. It does bring up an interesting subject, though. Is that I know we see it on rare occasion, but we don't often see a lot of like dance, a lot of the culture that exists outside of like what they've already defined is important, right?
Right.
So musical might bring up some new subject material for the world, right?
Yeah, I don't know, man. This is more we talk about it, the more I don't like it. Just not. I mean, it's not for Star Trek. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm sure there'll be a funny moment because I'm sure, watching Spock sing or something like that's just going to make me laugh.
Well, here's the thing about Star Trek. Star Trek and some other stuff, Star Wars, somewhat. Our whole time when we were growing up, it was a boys' club, right? It was, the guys of our age that were into the same shit. Little did we know that there were girls doing it too, right?
Right.
And that audience has grown.
Big time.
So they can't just pander to us anymore, I guess. It's the thing. Although at the same time, it could be related to like the strike, right? Somebody's vision
Yeah, I have no idea. It
Yeah,
just I just don't know if I want it in my Star Trek.
that's enough on that, I think, right?
Yeah, well, and it did make me think, and this will get us off on just a side tangent, but it did make me think all of a sudden that I kind of wish they would go ahead and introduce the holodeck.
Right.
Maybe I don't know if they did it in Discovery. I don't think they did because I haven't scrutinized Discovery like I did the old shows and know everything about them and can go,
Yeah,
oh
you watch
yes, in
one and done.
episode 3 they, you know, they got alien blood on them in it. But yeah, so I've mentioned before that in the old animated series, it was in that. So I've said diehard fans will make the case that the holodeck has been around for a long time, but we just never saw
Right.
it except for the animated series. So yeah, I think it'd be kind of neat to add that in somewhere in here and just give it a nod. I'd love a holodeck episode.
Yeah.
I guess the reason I
I
say
mean, the
that is because
holodeck
it made me
episodes
think
are
of
always cool,
musical.
right?
Yeah, that if they're going to do a musical, maybe if it's in a holodeck, I'll take less. I'll give it less
No,
shit.
I guarantee you it's not going to. I guarantee you it's going to be an alien race that communicates through song and dance.
Yeah, it'll be something like that. Or yeah, they'll be taken over perhaps by some alien entities that are corporeal instead of physical.
Right?
Maybe.
Or
I don't
something
know.
will do something to their brains for,
Yeah. I mean, we've seen all these things, so
yeah.
they can borrow from anything.
Right.
And they seem to love to do that.
Right.
Yeah. Um. Oh yeah, something else I saw on there too, which I mixed feelings about as well because I loved the old movies and I haven't liked the remakes like Conan. Red Sonja is getting a remake now,
Right.
and I don't know how I feel about that because Brigitte Nielsen. I mean, first of all, we had Arnold Schwarzenegger as Conan, and I don't know if his second movie was out yet. It might have been. It might have come out. I think his first movie came out, then Red Sonja, then his second movie. But it may have been
I want to
first
say
and
you're
second
right. I
movie, and
think
then
you're
Red.
right.
Yeah, I think that's how it went. Yeah, Red Sonja was between his two movies.
Right.
I think I could be wrong. Put a note in the comments if you know for sure about
Yeah.
that.
Please.
But yeah, it was just something about the times and those stories and just even like the Beastmaster and the way the film looked at the time
Right.
and the quality of effects and
Well,
just the
also
way they
the
did
method of
things.
storytelling too,
Oh
right?
yeah, definitely. Um, so and it's also something we never saw before.
Right.
It was new, and so I just don't know. It's like I think I saw in Tubi or something they had the remake of Red Dawn, and I've never seen that. I refuse to see it. I might watch it now though. I don't
Yeah.
know, but it's the same thing. I mean, it's how dare they even remake it for one thing? I mean, you're never going to capture that same feeling that we got from that group of kids from the Brat Pack.
Right.
I mean, that in and of itself, that statement right there makes it what it is. I mean, there was a group of actors we knew and loved growing up. So you're just not going to throw a bunch of actors together, modern day, retell this story.
Well, I mean, that's the only reason that movie got made, right? In the first place. Because anybody that walked in with a script like that, like, what's going to draw the audience
Oh
in?
yeah, it seems absurd, the idea,
Right.
but it's a damn fucking good movie.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah, I saw that in
But,
theaters.
in order for it to get made, they had to say, well, why don't we cast these
Yeah,
people?
let's have the whole lot of them in there.
Right.
Great cast, man. Just an absolutely great cast. That makes me want to see that movie. Makes me want to see Beastmaster. Actually, talking about it the other day, I was thinking, man, I wish the podcast was like big enough to where I could call it like or find somehow get a hold of certain people. Like I would love to interview Mark Singer.
Right. Yeah.
There's something you don't see, and maybe to do. I need to Google it and see if anybody's done that. But I was like, man, that would be a really good interview to see what he's up to. Because in that V remake, they had 2 seasons, and right at the very end, I'm talking the last 2 minutes of the last episode of the second season, enter Mark Singer, and he looks like he's
Right.
going to play some new or antagonist. Maybe we're not
Yeah.
sure really. Maybe working both sides. but I was like, holy fuck, Mark Singer on TV again. This is so fucking
Right.
awesome, you know?
Yeah.
And then come to find out not long, you know, a few months after that, that they canceled the whole thing. I'm like, you gotta be shitting me. We finally get Mark back. We already had Jane Badler on there for all of season 2. That was really cool. What a letdown. But yeah, and I was thinking another one, like Steve Gutenberg. What a great interview that would be.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I've mentioned this before, but when it comes to V, I've got mixed feelings because going back and reviewing the material I get now, it's weird because you'll notice the professions that all the protagonists were, right?
Yeah.
It speaks to, it's like, I don't know if you know the story behind the writing and the writer's room and how it was and how it became.
You talking about the original?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I know all kinds of things about
All
the
right. So yeah,
original
this
V.
wasn't the original vision, right? These big, scary aliens. It was meant
Yeah,
to
I
be
mean,
more
it was supposed to just be a World War II commentary on World War II. I mean, that's all it is. They just threw aliens in there.
right.
You got the whole fifth column, freedom fighters, and the aliens are the Nazis in their jackboots and uniforms and everything, just like, you know.
Yeah, so that was like Hollywood's decision. You know, we were going to make them reptiles. We got to spruce it up, spice it up, do
Yeah.
something. And there was pushback, but eventually, you know, what else are you going to do? It's either going to get made or it's not. So it went this direction, but all the elements are still there. It was like a journalist. Um, Help me out here. The professions.
Well, you had the scientist. Faye Grant played the
Journalist and
scientist.
scientist.
Mark
Those were the
Singer
two big
was
ones.
the cameraman slash journalist. You know, he worked in that field. His girlfriend was the journalist, really, and she's the
Right.
one that liaised with the aliens.
Yeah.
Um,
So the
you got
point is that
all
these
walks
are
of
the
life.
professions that are often gone after by authoritarian governments, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah. That was the scientists were like first thing. You know,
Right.
they.
And I totally didn't pick up on that on the first watching. Of course, I was young. I
Oh,
didn't get
yeah.
all
We
that.
were youngest, but see, that's what I was gonna say. That whoever made the decision to make them aliens totally scored with us as the
Right.
youth because we absolutely ate that show up.
And
And
if it didn't have aliens, we wouldn't have.
no, and that yeah, it would have. That's nobody would know whatever they would have come out with would minus the aliens if it had just been some World War II thing with freedom fighters and shit.
Dystopian future or alternate, whatever.
I don't know. Yeah, who knows what they would have done with it, but it just wouldn't have done as well. I mean, V
I agree.
was just it just hit at the right time. It was actually at the time too the most expensive per episode ever. They were $1 million per episode, and it's what ended up canceling it when they went to series. That's what ended up killing it because it was so damn expensive. And of
Because
course,
it was
by
on
the
the
end,
timeline,
what's that?
right? They were on the crazy timeline. Was basically what killed it. The money kept going up for the cost of the episode because of the timeline being so short. It wasn't like this was a whole thing, like an artist vision of Hollywood and how it all works out. And so the price of episodes just kept rising because they were expecting more and more. And
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a effects heavy show. A lot. It's a big show. I mean, it came from a mini series into a show, so they had a lot of money up front. And of course, they reused the hell out of all the stuff that they got in the miniseries. You can see it
yeah,
reused throughout the show over and over and over and over again.
sometimes
And
well done, not
yeah,
often.
yeah. But I think what ultimately killed it, and you could see it, like they just kept losing their stars. They couldn't afford to pay their stars. They had a huge cast of people, very well known people. And once you're in about the sixth, seventh episode, most of the cast is killed off or left or whatever. There was only like 19 episodes. There was like 18 made. There was either 19 made and 20 scripts or 18 made and 19 scripts. I can't remember because there's one script that never got made. But interestingly, though, they canceled in 86, late 86, and in 87, another show came around, Star Trek The Next Generation, and it was $1 million per episode. It was over $1 million per episode. So V had set the standard, but Star Trek came in, and they did a whole different thing where they went straight to syndication. And that was a brand new thing. Nobody had tried either. So it was a smart move because everybody just had to pay up front for it, and it was an expensive show, and that's how they got around the network. The networks would have never let a show like that without syndication go on at that price tag. It just wouldn't have happened.
Right.
They would have never made
Well,
it
I
past
mean,
season 2.
that's another thing. Another thing of comparison there. It was slightly different, but as far as like showrunners and dailies, it was always a shit show on V, right?
Yeah,
As far as who was holding the reins, and there was some mix up here and there with TNG, right? So
I,
far as like who was running the show, not necessarily,
oh yeah, yeah.
obviously it was like the Roddenberry, and
Yeah.
then
Oh,
like
Jesus, man. Season 1 and 2, and into some of 3, but mainly just by 1 and 2. It was a total shit show. I mean, like
right,
Roddenberry was there, but his lawyer was the guy going around trying to make everybody, do the bidding, and everybody hated that lawyer. And yeah, we're lucky we have anything. It's just sheer will of the old people that he had from the old series, like DC Fontana and a lot of other old hats there that helped him get it going. It's funny, you watch that first season and it is just like watching an old TOS episodes, like the
right, yeah,
sets and everything. I mean, it's so TOS. It's just got the modern effects and the modern look of the mid '80s.
yeah,
But yeah, it wasn't until honestly, it wasn't until Michael Piller came in, Rick Berman, season 3, and really started to shine. The effects were a lot more polished. The places you go, like the planets and stuff, way better looking.
right.
But V holds a great place in my heart. It's one of my favorite old sci-fi shows, and it's tough to watch sometimes when like the miniseries is great.
Yeah.
But when you start watching the series, like I said, you get about 6 to 8 episodes in, and you're like, this is about it for me.
Yeah, and
Everybody's
then
dead and
everything after
gone.
that was just like a cash grab, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, it's just I think Singer stayed in it. I don't know. Faye Grant stayed to mostly to the end, but it's just basically them two. You don't recognize anybody else. There might be like one person that made it through that wasn't all that big. Just happened to be in it from the beginning.
Yeah.
Robert England was in there for a long time. I think he hung with it for a while.
He did, and that was kind of like I don't know. It was kind of weird because it's like at that point it was like back in the '80s it was either that or Freddie, right?
Yeah,
For me,
yeah. I mean, well, that was
I
like,
know he's done a lot of work in his younger years,
oh
like
yeah, yeah. He's got stuff before that, but yeah. I mean, V was really what kind of brought him to the forefront, and of course, he like right after V, while he was doing V, he did Freddy. And it's funny that I picked up and went into horror and followed his career because the minute I saw him on V, I loved Willie. I loved the character Willie. He was my very favorite from the very beginning. So it didn't take me long to figure out that, hey, that's that guy. That's that guy playing Freddy.
he's got some affectations I'm familiar with.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I could tell definitely just
Yeah.
by some movements. Um. Yeah. So that was all off a Red Sonja remake. How about that? Got off on a wild tangent.
You did tangent.
But hell, I didn't have nothing really major to talk
Well,
about.
before we separate from that subject, I will say as far as Red Sonja, the Conan movies, the originals, um, it's multifaceted for me, right? It has to do with what you were talking about, like how old movies were, the grain of film and stuff like that, but also um, the choices of music, the blocking and things like that. Uh, it really did a lot for me. That was a more successful dip of a toe into a D&D type story than anything else has ever done.
I know one thing that makes it for me with those old shows is music by Mike Post. I love
Mm-hmm.
hearing anything, which he pretty much had everything just about in every major show. He had his notes in them there somewhere, and it really made the times, late '70s, '80s.
Well, I mean, it was just so great for that type of a movie too, right? The epicness of all of it,
Yeah.
the music.
Yeah, it all comes together. It's weird. I love it's just the way the film looked, just the style of it back in the day,
Yeah.
just a quality. And now with the help of computers, you can actually kind of recreate it. It's cool. I
Yeah.
like seeing some of these filters where people have thrown a filter on there that gives it kind of an old '80s look. It's pretty cool.
They've gotten better.
Yeah, they've
And
gotten way better.
honestly, I haven't seen the new ones, but I do remember when they were first trying to do that, and
Yeah, it was
it was
rough.
not that great, right?
It was rough.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll go ahead and give a Kitten update, man.
Yeah.
They are growing and just as crazy as ever. They are all over the place, man. I mean, just I should have watched more videos past the 6th week or whatever and known what I was getting in store for. Sad
Right.
thing is, man, I really feel like everybody's setting me up to where I'm keeping these damn kittens, and I can't, man. I mean, like, if we keep them, I got to get the boy fixed. It's just going to end up being like a few $100s because it's multiple things that have to be fixed, you know?
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
they don't want a boy pissing all over the house. You got 2 females that aren't fixed saying we keep the other one. Then you're going to have more cat. I mean, it's just a whole nightmare that I don't want to. I feel like if we got the boy at home, maybe I could keep the girl, no problem. And I mean,
I
she's a
don't know,
daddy's
man. You're
girl.
already sounding pretty attached.
Oh, I am attached. There's no doubt. I want to keep these cats,
Right.
and I just don't see it as feasible. I really think they need to go.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, I would love to
It's
keep
just
them.
hard to make that happen, right?
Yeah, I need to. I did put a post on Facebook early this week, but I don't know. I mean, like, dude, I don't know. I'm not that guy that has all these friends and stuff that, I'm better off like having my stepdaughter like send that kind of thing out because she's got
Right.
more connections to people. Although, damn, starting like 3 or 4 weeks ago, man, like I started just getting Facebook requests all the time, like just daily, all the time.
Yeah.
Kind of has me worried that I'm like getting infected with something or already am. I don't know. I check them. I don't let anybody in until I just go through their thing real quick. I've caught a couple bots trying to slip through there because one of them is my friend Angus, my old guitar player. Yeah, I was already friends with him, and I got another friend request, and there really wasn't nothing on the page. So I'm like,
Right.
this reeks of malware or some kind of up to no goodness.
Shit fuckery.
Yeah, some skullduggery. But yeah, these 2 little kittens. I mean, Boo Boo, he is big. He's a big old boy. He is going to be a massive cat, and that's part of me is why I want to keep him because I've never had a boy. I've only had girls. My mother had a Himalayan that was a huge boy, and he was awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wish I could get my mom to take one of them. They got all that land out there, but he could just roam free out there and be a big old happy cat. He loves to fucking play. This cat is playing all the damn time. And his sister does too. But, I mean, just him. I mean, it's like he's way
She's more like
wound up.
the usual cat, right? She'll play with you for a little while and then
Yeah.
run off and do
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he is, man, as soon as his eyes open, he's ready to go. And we have these little furry mice with catnip in them or whatever. He loves those fucking mice, man. He will play with it. He'll play with himself for hours. Yeah, I know how he feels. Yeah, he loves them. I had to go buy more. And then the dog got jealous. She started grabbing at him and chewing on him. She tears him up in 2 seconds. He just wants to bat him around, with his big old kitten mittens. I love kitten mittens, man. They're funny. So watch with a big old hand that's stuck out everywhere.
Right.
Flop, 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 flop.
Right. How do these things work?
Oh, and they're so bloody smart, man. Yeah, I would have to give credit to these cats being, since I got Pepper we got her at 7 weeks. So we got her pretty early.
Yeah.
And she's no dummy for sure, but these cats at 6 week old, I mean, like I said, I got them litter trained. It's like it's a race memory or something, man. They know litter box. It's, who knows how long people have been trying to make their cats go in a sandbox. So it's just in their memory now.
Well, I mean, weren't they pretty much first domesticated in Egypt.
I'm sure, yeah. I mean, there's sand everywhere, so they can just go, oh, hey, we got a box. Oh, what do we do with the poop? Well, just throw some sand in there. We got it everywhere.
And then when they go, just cover it up with more sand.
That's right, yeah. Why is it smelling here? They didn't cover it good. Man, my cat does that shit. She'll leave a nasty deuce laying on top of that fucking box. I'm like, can't you at least cover it up? Oh, no, she got to show dominance.
Yeah.
Whatever. Just cover your turd. And fucking cats shit stank, man. Woof.
I bet.
God almighty. I'm happy both them babies are shitting like solid too.
Yeah.
That was kind of gross for a while. I mean, dude, there were like a couple weeks there I was just constantly had shit on me in one form or fashion.
Nobody likes a leaky butt.
No. Nobody does. And on top of that, so the only other thing besides wrangling kittens is I have been all up in this flight simulator, man. Like it's the last vagina on earth. All up in it. I might be officially asking for help soon. I don't know. I am deep in this motherfucker. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I got a lot. I mean, but I'm having a good time, man. I made some friends. I got me on a Discord site, and I found some. I've been wanting to find some English pilots and British pilots to fly with, and I did. And so I've been having a good old time this last week with some new friends of mine over the pond. And you know what a big Anglophile I am, so I'm eating that shit up.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been great. In fact, I was doing that right before we started this podcast. I was on my way from Nice to Madrid, Spain.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's weird you bring that up. I was thinking the other day about like Anglophiles and stuff. We talk about this being the Planet Gen X podcast. We don't really talk a lot about the, we had those few episodes here and there where we talked about like a specific year and stuff like that. But we don't really talk about a lot of the stuff that formed us in those years. And for me, I was thinking about like this kind of parallel. It's not even a parallel. I was just thinking about Princess Di, right? Diana.
Yeah.
She was like a big celebrity. She obviously wasn't a.
The people loved her. She was a good person. She helped people.
Right.
Yeah.
So and part of that was it was the whole thing with I can't remember their names. But the son that
Al-Fayed.
Was it Elizabeth?
Dodi Al-Fayed.
Huh?
Dodi Al-Fayed?
No. I was actually talking about Harry and
Fuckface.
Yes. Anyway, the one that got the wife who was not of royalty, right?
No, I think Harry is the fuckface, actually.
Yeah, maybe.
It's Prince
William?
Andrew. No, William. Yeah, William and Harry. Harry's the fuckface. Yeah, William's the good one.
I don't know. The names of real people, it's all the same stuff, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, I was thinking about it. It's just kind of weird, to think about how she was trapped in this world. Was it Kate? Was that the name of the wife that was just like a banker or something?
You talking about William's wife?
Yeah.
Yeah, the good-looking broad.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she wasn't royalty or anything.
No. She's a commoner. Yeah.
Right.
But a commoner who had like a dad, I think, or parents that are considered. I don't know if he's a lord or not, or that kind of level of person.
But he's in the realm.
Yeah, he ain't no. But I tell you what, he ain't no fucking working class bro. That's for sure. They wouldn't allow that shit.
Yeah, but at the same time, I was kind of thinking, like, it's kind of a similar situation of what went on with Princess Diana.
Yes, it is, and that's why I said because Di was very working class.
Right. And I kind of wonder if that was like some kind of lordship bullshittery of like how they will be more thankful and less likely to be able to survive without you, if things got rough, right?
Yeah.
They would be less likely to leave, and they would hang on you, and they would support you more because you pluck them up from like just this position of
Right.
whatever they were doing
Yeah.
and elevated them. And I don't know. I kind of think that's something that some fathers in those types of royalty positions, such as King of England and shit, might
Yeah.
teach their kids.
Yeah. Quite possibly.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really have anything else. Did you have something specific, anything else you wanted to talk about while we're here?
I guess I've been on a Timothy Oliphant kick recently.
Yeah.
We talked about Justified. I've been watching Deadwood.
Yeah.
Uh,
I need to get back to it again.
yeah.
Love me some
Watching
Deadwood.
Deadwood, playing Major Mud, and working on shit my therapist tells me to do.
There you go.
That's really about it.
Yeah, some Deadwood, man. That's poetry right there. That's one of the single greatest shows ever written.
There was some really great acting done in that
Oh
show.
man, some just fine people, and that's why Justified is so good too. You get to see a lot of them get little roles in there. Yeah, what can I say, man? Just Al Swearingen and Oliphant's character. Just
Calamity Jane is one of my favorites.
Jane, man, God, Robin Weigert. I see her in so much stuff. She's a great character actor. She's in all kinds of stuff. If it was shot in New York, she's probably going to be in it because she lives up there. She's one of those New York actors. It's got a lot of stage in them. But yeah, she's very sought after, I think, because I see her all the time, and it often blows my mind. Like sometimes you won't even recognize her the way they'll have her made up in different roles.
Oh yeah, compared to fucking Calamity Jane.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, it's like night and day. Her role as Jane, she nailed it. She did a great job with it. She really did. They all did. Yeah. I mean, you go and watch that movie that they did, a couple of years ago, and just the only one that really nailed their character was the Irish girl. I can't think of her name right now.
The one that played Trixie?
Trixie, yeah, the one that played Trixie. She got back in that movie role. It was just like she had never missed a beat, man. She nailed her character spot on. And honestly, I think she's kind of fiery like that in real life. I mean, she's an Irish girl, I think she just tapped into a place that was just her, pretty much more her than anything else.
Well, I've always also had the suspicion that method is a lot more common across the pond, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And that may have been something with her. I don't know about. I can never remember the guy's name, but the guy that played Al, who's in John Wick, all that shit.
Ian McShane.
Yes, McShane. Thank you.
Yeah.
I could see him possibly doing method stuff, but I don't think that's really his jam, so to speak.
Yeah, I'm really not sure. I don't think he really bothers with that.
Yeah, but I think with method, it's probably easier to drop back into the character, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, those guys, they'll stay in the character until the shoot is over. Like, I know Brad Dourif, who did his character on the Lord of the Rings movies. He tells that story on there where he was doing an English accent for those movies. And he kept the accent the whole time until they finally cut. And then he talks to Peter Jackson, and Jackson said, "You do the worst American accent I've ever heard."
Yeah.
That's
familiar with that story. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. But that's method right there. Staying with it. And listen, from a guy who likes to do different accents and stuff like that, I get it. Like, just wanting to, once you nail it, you really don't want to start fucking with going to your regular voice, because some accents are just hard to just keep that, hit the same. Oh dear.
Is my screen moving?
It's not.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. We're here at the end. We'll just do you out with audio. It's weird. I know, you got a Popeye thing going on there. All right, yeah. Well, that's a good time to click out, I guess. We've been having problems with
Okay.
your screen lately. I don't know what's doing there. I don't know if it's on your
I'm
end, or
having
my
I
end, or
haven't
what.
got internet issues, to be honest. I've been having a little bit of technical difficulty. You know, the mic, this.
Yeah.
I don't.
I guess. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess you need to have some technical time before we see each other again Monday.
Right. Yeah. I'm gonna ferret out whatever this problem is.
Yeah. Right on. Well, no worries. At least we got through the show. We're here at the end.
Yeah.
It's no big deal. Hell, we've had no video shows. It's not as
Right.
long as audio's kicking, we're fine. It's no biggie. So, all right, guys, we appreciate it. As always, be excellent to each other, and stay tuned for our Star Trek Reacts Episode 9 coming up a couple days. All right, you guys.
Thanks so much, everybody.
Yeah, we'll see you on the flip side. Peace out.